Thanks, everyone. When I was told about all this, at first I thought they'd got the wrong guy, but that quickly morphed into sheer unadulterated fear, as I've always thought awards were the kiss of death, literally in the case of my friend John Morrison, and figuratively but just as damaging in the case of many others. On reflection though, and having confirmed that it really was me that they were after, I'm very honoured and humbled. It came completely out of left field and was the last thing I'd expected. A short speech is a good one though, and this is no exception, particularly as I've always thought of this part of the evening as the proverbial speaker's graveyard, with serious entertainment and fun beckoning. Apparently this year is destined to be more salubrious, but I can't imagine it will be too different at the end of the day. So in keeping with tradition, I imagine I'm expected to pass on some wise words. In my case, this might be difficult, but the fact that I've actually accepted the obviously poisoned chalice, and I'm actually here talking to you, has provided me with something semi-wise to say, I think. It's been a feature of my life, inadvertently mostly, to have found myself in situations where I'm trying to do something difficult, if not impossible. So I started life as an aeronautical engineer at Boeing and was part of a team redesigning the 737. But the specifications were absolutely ridiculous because management didn't really want the plane to survive. Against all odds, we did it though, and the plane went on to become the best-selling aircraft in history. I then found myself back here doing battle against the two airline policy for East-West Airlines. Most of you won't remember the whole deregulation thing, but believe me, it was a big deal at the time. We ended up winning that one too. Then came the obvious move to stockbroking, and then investment management, which saw me developing quantitative methods for stock selection initially, then global tactical asset allocation. Although relatively mainstream now, this stuff wasn't taken seriously at the time by the efficient market academics, or even most investment practitioners. Thank goodness though for hedge funds, as they've legitimised much of this work, and indeed the work of many others who'd been operating in different corners of the investment landscape. The really important thing about hedge funds though, is that they purport to isolate investment skill, and despite a very severe setback to this proposition in 2008, have survived in a stronger and smarter fashion today and are generally validating that premise. But the point I really want to make is that the act of attempting difficult things that you believe in at the time is not only character building, yeah, okay, I'm old school, but also puts you side by side with really excellent people, and this is priceless in my opinion. Whatever small contribution I might have made pales into insignificance when compared with the privilege I've had to be able to work with the truly outstanding group of individuals that make up our industry. So much so, in fact, that I couldn't stay retired and have decided to have one more tilt at something difficult. This time directly with some of these special individuals I count as friends. So breaking all the rules about friends and business, we're taking on the very tricky investment implications of a clean energy hedge fund. Who knows where it will end, but we won't die wondering. And this, I suggest, is a good way to attack life. You surprise yourself from time to time, you meet seriously interesting people, and make outstanding friends along the way. What could be better? Thank you and have a great night.